one win under their belt, so this does mean something to both these players here. Very important. And it looks like we're off. Alrighty, let's go. So the very first kingdom, as most people are probably pretty familiar with at this point, is Cap Kingdom. A little bit of new development here in Cap Kingdom. We'll see if either runner opts to go for it. But it's pretty basic. We're just going to roll as fast as we can and get started. Alright, Tech getting that triple jump there. Crono getting it as well. That triple jump saves a little bit of time there. If you don't get it, you gotta opt into other options. They're a little bit slower. Can be slower. It's good movement from both of them there. Alright, both of them getting good frogs. That frog can definitely troll you sometime, where the cutscene doesn't start right away. So you hit the start button, you just pause, but you're not skipping the cutscene. It's always a lot of fun. So this is where I was talking about. There's some new optimization in this room that we see Tech in right now, but both of the other runners opting for the regular long jump strats here. Like Tech took a little bit of damage from Chopper here, but won't lose too much time. Good boss fights for both of them there. You'll see a lot with most of the boss fights in this game, almost everyone. There's a way to skip a large section of time with just some well-timed jumps. So good Cap Kingdoms from both here. Coming up on Cascade next, which can be an easy time loss. I'm sure, as most people know, Dino Skip is pretty notorious. Good movement from Tech there. That rock that you see a lot of people triple jump off can either be your best friend or your enemy. And Crono opting for a hat jump there. Very safe option. Oof, Crono just barely missing that chain chomp there. Must have gone right under it. That chain chomp can definitely hit you sometimes if you're not on the right path. It's always interesting to see what movement people take right here. Ooh, Tech doing some really good movement there. The standard approach there is 2 triple jumps back to back. But that movement is very slow. Alright, Tech getting his Dino jump first try there. Let's see if Crono can do it. This part always makes me nervous. Both runners getting the first try. We got a race on our hands, everybody. Let's go. Now, there's some new technology, speedrun technology for this boss. It looks like Tech's going for it. You can kind of in one motion do that backflip and get your hat that takes the chain jump, really speeding up this phase. And you see Crono going for the safer option here, where you just jump on it, hit it with your hat twice. You get it. Ooh, Crono getting an unfortunate wall there. The space that you have to pull that chain jump to max length can be real unforgiving sometimes. Both of them having a pretty clean fight there. Then we just gotta get one more moon here and Cascade, and then we're off. Ooh, Crono with some very optimal movement to that last moon. There's a lot of ways to do it, but it is definitely a fast way to do it. Ooh, Crono taking an unfortunate bonk there. He still got it. Then he'll roll back to the Odyssey and be on our way to the next kingdom, which is the very ever-changing, lovely Sand Kingdom. Heard it before and I'll say it again, there's so many routes for Sand Kingdom. Yeah, I feel like I see a new one every day. Early bird, late bird. I have yet to see a mid bird. I'm waiting for somebody to get a mid bird strat. I don't know about you guys, but Sand Kingdom is my favorite kingdom. Pulling all the tricks off here feel really good when you optimize this kingdom well. So I see Tech going up to the fountain here and jumping off of it to get his first moon. Now right here we could see Tech get this bird or ignore the bird. Looks like he's gonna ignore the bird. So we'll see where he gets that later. Or if he even needs the bird. Crono taking the umbrella there. Alright, Tech coming up on the top of the dune here. Ooh, gets his first try. I don't know about you guys, but I swear that moon moves underneath the ground and it just doesn't tell anyone. That's my theory. Maybe I'm just bad. But he got a first try. Let's go. Crono coming up on the same moon here. I'm being joined by the lovely Akra. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome, welcome.
Just wanted to stop on by. Make sure you're not too lonely here this match.
I was very lonely.
Well, now you are no longer.
Ready to watch some Mario?
Oh, heck yeah, man. Looks like Crono's not too far behind Tech either. It's just a matter of a moon or two between them.
Crono coming up here on the ice pillar. Alright, he recovers it. Looks like he's gonna recover. Alright, good recovery.
Yeah, yeah. Oh!
Tech, I don't think he was expecting that bullet to be there yet. So we see him throw his cap probably to change his direction, but instead capture.
Yeah, so if he was wanting to get an early bullet bill cycle there, he now is forced to wait, unfortunately. Perhaps loses a little bit of time there.
He did kind of make the best of it by, if you wait on the higher elevated platform towards the right there, you can actually, the bullet bill will spawn there. So.
I think given the circumstances, that was not the worst, but I don't think he was going in expecting that.
I hate to see that bullet bill die.
Yeah, it's the worst too when you
had a long life ahead of it. But...
I know, right? It always sucks the most when you do try to manipulate it and then you fail and you just have to stand in front of it like a doofus waiting.
Yeah. You see Mario shiver for a few frames while you wait for it to spawn a bullet bill.
Looks like Tech not going for the Sphinx clip today. Perhaps not going for the Sphinx at all, actually, just skipping entirely. Yep.
Now Tech's going for, I think this is a recent optimization, rolling up the stairs there instead of doing shortcut steps.
It's you know, one of those micro optimizations that I'm sure doesn't feel very impactful, but actually is like a second or two, or you know, however much.
Tech scared me again with the bullet. He almost got it, but and
yeah, so
we're gonna see Crono opt into the Sphinx, so coins will not be a concern of his.
Yeah, so since he did not opt for the clip, I think the optimal thing to do here is still to do notes instead of flowing sands. But he is heading to it. I think it's like a 3-second difference at the worst, and
yeah, probably just a comfort thing over.
Yeah, because I mean, I think notes is slightly faster than the flowing sands, but notes sucks. I hate that moon.
It is very hard to optimize the movement for notes. You want to, especially the most optimal way to do it with motion controls. So throw that in the mix. Yeah. One more move you don't like to do.
Motion controls, my dude. So fun. Yeah, but so here's Tech gonna be showing off the notes here. I think the spin throw there is the best on the first palm tree, but it is actually possible to jump on the leaf, grab the first one with Mario, and then throw your hat in such a way that you grab the last two with just the hat. Little tough.
Making notes look pretty easy, right? I may have to rethink my route.
Yeah.
So it looks like Tech's on an excellent pace here, and Crono's just coming up on his last 3 moons, so not too far behind.
And Sen is definitely one of those kingdoms where, depending on what route you chose and how your tech is, how your movement, you know, flows together, you can see some serious time losses or time improvements just through, like, it looks like nothing. It looks like you did everything that you were supposed to do in the run, but you know, your movement was just a little suboptimal throughout the kingdom, and so you just lose pace here. So I think that's part of the reason Crono is now further behind than he was at the ice pillar.
Yeah, he missed a few optimizations there, so he had to take some backups there slow. But he gets the bird, gets the mound, and on his way.
Again, did everything he was supposed to do. So gonna be able to keep up a relatively rigorous pace through the rest of the run. It's still early on.
And you see a Tech entering, I think, one of the shortest kingdoms.
Yeah, it's like in the top 3 short kingdoms. I think it's like Cap and then Lost are the top 2, and then Lake is not far behind.
We don't kingdom shame here, though. Every kingdom's liked here.
Nope. Tech pushing on the wall a little bit before he heads to the moon.
Short talk with that wall real quick. Now he dives into the water here. I think that's one of the options that I see changed up the most. Whether you ground pound into that water, you dive into the water, you just fall into the water. So it's interesting to see what.
Yeah, I think there are actually 4 different methods of getting in. You can just jump off the cliff and fall. You can dive like he did. You can ground pound, and you can just roll off the edge. I'm actually not sure, because there's the falling speed of each one in air, and then there's also how much do you sink in water to take into account.
And then also, some of those options, you can throw your hat early. Like if you dive in, you gotta wait for Mario to finish his animation to throw your hat. And Tech getting a real clean cheap jump there. Crono almost missing it. He's gonna get it. That's a scary miss right there.
Yeah, so. That's a really bad thing to get wrong in that position, but he does get the homing attack from the cap. Saved his neck there.
Very good roll cancel there into that last move. So there's Crono doing one of the options we were talking about, ground pounding in.
Yep.
Tech finishing up Rango, I believe is his name.
Yep, it is Rango.
That's an easy boss, but a very big time loss if you make a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, he can be fast cycled, and you blink and it's over. But if you miss any one of those phase skips, it'll be pretty painful to try to get back into the rhythm of it. But Tech also, I kind of glossed over it a little bit, but he made the cheap jump first try, which is very nice. Crono coming up on it now. You can get extra height if you just swim towards the surface of the water using the cheap versus as Mario jumping out. And you can then leave the cheap for even more height going straight to the boss instead of going all the way around the kingdom. So it's very, very nice. Feels very good to get that first try.
Crono getting it first try there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Crono is now on this boss, and you see he's going to jump on his hat as early as he can, but there is a window where you can jump too early and you jump too late, so...
Yeah. Seen a couple runners jump a little too early and just, you take damage, you fall through, and you have to then wait for him to be next vulnerable, because he'll throw his hat at you, run all around, and... Boy, it's a real pain in the neck if you don't just stop him from going into his faces.
It's real slow, and we don't like that around here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We don't like slow strats around these parts.
Oh, now get that nonsense out of here. So here's Tech starting up the Wooded Kingdom. Looks like he's going to go...
around the tree.
Mm-hmm. The reverse from most runners. Most runners will catch Mips the bunny first and then break the rocks. Looks like he's going to do it in the other order before he goes to purchase his moon with the 100 coins he has.
We may need to get some science men on that one. These are what we have men in seats for.
Because after you get the moon from the bunny, you are closer to the shop by a little bit than if you just do the rocks second. So might be a very, very minuscule time save there.
Put you closer to the vendor as well there.
Oh, little bonk.
We saw that. Crono finishing up Lake Kingdom there, so we'll see how he handles the front here.
It's really good that most of the cutscenes in this game are skippable, but sometimes, just the amount of downtime between, hey, I got the killing blow on Rango, and now I can actually play in the Wooded Kingdom is... Yeah. Sometimes it can make you feel like your run's going real slow.
I agree.
Tech,
so
the speed.
Oh, sorry. Yes, and Crono really showing that bunny. With the long jump into it.
Yeah, both these runners are strutting their stuff for sure.
Now I've seen some new technology right there where you avoid that capturing that onion or watermelon, whatever people think it is.
The official name is the uproot, but no one calls it that. Everyone calls it an onion.
It has a name, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You can skip that with a triple jump and get up onto that upper level there.
Yeah, I think you do have to be right up on the gate as it closes in order for that to actually be a time save. And Tech actually was right there. I think he could have gone for it, but might not have just practiced it,
Tech getting the fastest pipe I've seen in a while.
That is...
Skipping the damage and the water cycle. Very impressive from Tech.
Yeah.
That is not easy to do.
No, it is not. I'm sure he's run that pipe a couple hundred times.
You have to be far ahead of that water cycle and the fuzzy cycle. So there's very little time.
Oh, so this is interesting. He grabs the uproot before finishing the climb up the wall. Usually you'll see people runners finish the climb and then just grab the uproot right before that little platform you push up. Tech chooses to get the uproot on the lower platform and then just ride it up.
It's actually not a bad idea because you will see players kind of do a camera manipulation.
A little awkward with that uproot.
Those guys don't die. If you jump on them, you just keep jumping on them.
Yeah. Crono avoiding damage in the first half of the pipe. Tech bonking to crack open the nut.
If you bonk high enough there, you actually grab your moon before you fall, but it looked like he was...
Yeah, Crono taking a hit of damage there. Gonna have to wait for the water cycle now. A little unfortunate, but not the worst. Not the worst fate to suffer.
The worst thing to have to do in that pipe is to take damage and wait on the water cycle.
Yeah.
It feels bad. Having a little issue with the climb there, but
yeah, it looks like Tech's also just going for the flower path. Not taking it too risky here, just nice and easy. Oh.
Okay, all right. A bonk there can be scary because if that bottom platform below him was already triggered to be not there, that could be a
little spicy.
Unfortunate death. Spicy to say the least.
But yeah, I think it's interesting. Both the runners chose to go pipe instead of going to the maze and then doing pipe and warping back. It's becoming more and more the norm in these runs that I see these days. No one gives love to the warp.
You know, I've tested it a few times myself, and I cannot tell what's faster, to be honest with you. I enjoy that climb back up, so I've always
I also enjoy the climb, like from a personal satisfaction level, but my climb sucks.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
It's hard.
You feel good when you get it, and then when you, even if you just touch the purple stuff,
it's one of the hardest things to just nail. Yeah. Attack on the Spewart boss fight. This is pretty handily just the easiest boss fight in the entire run. You just jump on his hat and then you spin, jump on his hat again, and he can never do any attack. He can't do anything. Just sits there like a doofus, and then he dies. Poor Spewart.
Yes. You know, we may have never seen the phase that he goes into on this stream. In this tournament, yeah, I don't think I've seen anyone miss the jump stick. So.
I've seen some runners allow him to spew, you know, like vomit some goo, but never the spinning around all over the place.
the Triforce.
Yeah.
Goo. So Crono is making his final climb up to the boss here. Another section. Honestly, when it comes to the captures in this game, the up roots I think are the most responsive to me. I never have problem with their motion controls typically.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, the frogs are pretty good, but you only have them for 10 seconds or whatever.
I don't know, that frog, sometimes you hit it in the with the hat 3 or 4 times.
Oh, that's true, that glitch where it just doesn't accept your input. So it looks like Tech looking at a 21:45 exit time on Wooded, which is pretty good.
Ooh, Crono, commentator's curse, we're gonna see this phase.
Oh no.
No, what have I done?
Taking damage too, he's down to 1 HP.
Because you don't... Alright, he gets a heart there. But this is what happens if you miss a cycle on this boss. It's very, very wasteful.
So you can actually still jump on his hat and cancel that whole movement around the arena, but it's hard to pin him down, especially with all that goo around. And you really... If he does get to that phase, this boss can be tough, but with normal strats and, you know, assuming you don't space out like, oh, this fight's so easy, it should never happen. But, you know, paying no mind to that boss is super easy because you know, you get in the mindset of, oh, he's whatever, I don't care about this guy, and then he does you dirty. Oh, Tech. Yeah. Okay, he's going for...
So I'm sure anybody who's been paying attention to the net, I guess that's the one for there. The new strats for Bowser, there's been some development recently, so Tech doing a kind of what I would call a mid-fast version of it, where you don't take the damage to grab the hat early, but you still hit the hat early from the back. So,
yeah, I think I really like that there are different levels of strats for some of these fights, and that, you know, I'm just gonna play it safe and do the tested, the proven thing that's not gonna mess up, or the riskiest, you know, most intense strats that have the highest risk, you know, small reward in comparison. And you have like a gradient of things in between. So Tech not going for the world record strats on that fight, but, you know, not the standard either.
Not the fastest of fast. Oh, Tech getting a little low there. Okay, I can breathe.
All calculated. Oh no, Crono stepping off the edge before activating the platform.
I would be lying if I said I've never done that before. Ooh, Tech scares off a butterfly. That's a... Looks like he's just gonna forget about it.
Yeah, there are some backup moons here. There's a ton of, you know, the Lost Kingdom is densely packed with moons, so he's not gonna be hurting too bad here. But that does kind of feel a little unfortunate.
Yeah, he'll probably go for Cage the one in the jail, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know what else to call it, and the one under the bridge.
And the one under the bridge, yeah. Those are the 3 I would take as well. His other option before jumping off of the platform with the butterfly was cave gardening, but I feel like that's just slower than the others.
I agree. Yeah, that's what my first thought would have been, but then I saw him jump off.
Yeah.
All right, he did a crouch strat there that I thought was guaranteed to give you damage, but tech proves me wrong. It's very,
that's the first time I've ever seen it actually, and now that I see it, I'm like, that's genius.
That's very, very smart. Yeah, so here we see him blowing up the cage, and he'll probably ground pound this pillar right below him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get this and have to climb a tree probably to get up to the moon that he just broke free.
About you, but adding one more tree to Lost, I'm okay with.
Another chance to be memed, and he is memed.
Right there, you can see why.
What on earth is?
You can fall right through that tree.
Was that a weird? That was the weirdest. What?
Yeah.
Oh no! Ooh.
Now it'll be interesting to see what option he takes here.
So now he has to
trigger the.
Yeah, he has to keep in mind that he can't just walk forward normally on normal ground over that bridge, or else he'll activate Klepto and have his hat stolen. And he needs to also not.
I don't know if he
not
knows
die.
this, but without that cage there, it will trigger that cutscene.
Yes. No, he's got
I
it.
don't know what he's gonna do.
No, he's not. No.
Okay. He just takes the death to avoid the cutscene there. So.
That is technically a time save in that scenario.
Yes, that's smarter than. I don't know what I would have done. Maybe.
I think that's the only thing he could have done.
I think he took it. Yeah. He could have gotten like cave gardening and came back for this one. Alrighty, guys.
If there was a way to save that run, that was it. Good God.
Very good on the fly calls there on what to do. Props to Tech. But this should give Crono a chance to make up some lead here. He's not too far behind anymore. He's only two more games.
Yeah, not the recovery that Tech probably was wanting there, but I don't think he could have done a ton better there.
Definitely made the best with what he had. Smart man.
Yeah, but so Crono, not having missed the butterfly, is going to get to do the normal moons and hopefully not have that many struggles there.
Now, which way do you take the butterfly? Do you throw your hat early before the camera even sees it, or do you walk up the platform and throw it straight down?
I used to well, so I've swapped. I used to just do the, I'm just gonna walk up and stare it down the nose and time it well, stay at a safe distance. Crono not getting the moon under the bridge. I should try for that again. Hopefully it doesn't activate Klepto. Then I swapped to trying to do it, fancy camera strats, and it's hard. I can't be consistent.
It's hard. I agree.
So I've been alternating, like, do I feel like it this run? And then I fail, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. And Crono tries to avoid death there, but loses his 10 points anyway.
I missed it, but did he miss that moon the first time?
He did miss the moon the first time, had to go for it again. Got it the second time, but ate the death, and he wanted to make out with his coins, but he's not gonna keep them, so he's gonna have to probably I didn't look at his coin counter, but hopefully he can gather enough in Metro so we can just head straight to Snow. It looks like he did take Sphinx, but I think
it was a fast Sphinx. He definitely did not get as many coins as I'm accustomed to getting.
Yeah, and with the amount of coins Tech is looking at right now, he's probably thinking of heading to Seaside.
Yeah, Tech actually kind of going out of his way in the early Dark Metro there to get some coins. So it looks like he's not opting for the. You can grab this chest here from underneath. So I don't know if he went for the coins or for the speed there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for the coins. Or just
yeah. Okay. Crono's got 81 coins. I think he'll be okay to head to Snow after Metro if he so chooses.
Very nice roll cancel there. Showing off some.
That was slick.
Some flashy play.
This jump here from Crono, this is one of the toughest to make. It does hit a little bit of a bonk there.
You've got to make sure you get max height on this. So And we're gonna see a even harder variation of the same strategy.
Yeah, sometimes you're just pixels off and you feel like you should make it, but you don't quite. You just hit a bonk and it's like, oh man. Yeah.
You should get this one here. Alright.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tech taking some damage there. If he planned to damage boost through the fire orbs, he may have to.
Yeah. I have had that happen to me though, like sitting in that one corner trying to manipulate the Wiggler. Sometimes, you know, it clips you and you're not expecting it.
Crono taking a bonk there. He's gonna opt to climb the girder.
At least he didn't bonk over the pit, fall to his death. Seen that happen.
And Crono getting a not Crono. Tech getting a nice 2-cycle there. Not as worried as we were probably. So excellent.
He's practiced the crescendo strats. Never misses a 2-cycle in his life. GG.
Never. You know, I used to hate that boss, but I've definitely became a lot more comfortable with it. That's one of the only instances, I'm sure you guys have heard of RNG, is the second cycle it takes on the wall there. You don't know what you're going to get, but that's the only bit of RNG you see in this run.
It can be pretty impactful, though, because it comes out of the wall at a random spot, and then also travels around in a random pattern. And it can really make, like, you know, if it just happens that most of its body segments for most of the time are on the very top of the building, you're gonna have a bad time.
And also, even whether or not the fireballs it shoots start on the left or right is random.
Yeah, that too.
It can be, so Tech showing off nice little catch.
Ooh, he gets it.
Throw your hat early. Shake the controller.
Yeah, the Metro Kingdom is has the highest requirement of moons to progress of any kingdom. You need 20 total moons. We grabbed 5 in nighttime Metro and leaves 15 in the daytime, which is still most than, you know, a lot of kingdoms. So a lot of time you get to spend here and just, you know, trying to route these fastest 15 moons in the daytime from among the bajillion moons it's very interesting.
Very nice. RC car and bench guy from Tech there.
Nice bench.
RC car, one of the newest route adjustments we've seen here. You can hop on the scooter and clip into that moon to grab it, or just grab the RC.
Yeah, that's one of the newer things that I think some runners are just starting to adapt. A lot of the top tier players are, you know, looking to incorporate these new moves probably the minute they see them and practice them immediately. But for most runners, there's lots of time saved elsewhere, and so we're seeing this mixed bag now of like, oh well, what is the newest strat that you go for? Is it the one that was yesterday or 5 days ago? You know.
Crono.
Oh, he gets it.
Almost.
That was close.
Commentator's curse again.
That's actually. Yeah, that was actually kind of spooky because sometimes towards the end of the vulnerability period there, it gets some iframes randomly. And so even though you shot it dead on and it should have, you know, killed the last segment or whatever, you hit an iframe and so you don't get it. So a lot of runners will spam shoot the last segment. But he does manage to get the 2-cycle Wiggler, which is super nice.
So, Dark Metro not being the kindest to Crono, but he makes it out with a nice Wiggler fight there. So. Now Tech's coming up on one of the most amazing parts of Metro Kingdom, where you have to go get some band members. Crono scaring me there, almost rolling off the edge, but we'll be alright.
I love this room so much. The bouncing off people like that, where you kind of, it looks like Mario is slam dunking their heads, is just hilarious to look at, honestly.
Sure. Alright, both players here taking a standard RC car.
Yeah. I don't know if you've practiced the scooter clip much, but
it is hard.
It's really hard. And it feels really awful when like you miss it and you're like, okay, now I gotta turn around and go back, and you know, it just feels like the worst thing. Whereas if you miss RC car, you're still in that little tight little arena, so you can, you know, adjust and give it another go. With Scooter, you literally have to just start over entirely.
It's definitely RC car control you sometimes too. If you get in a weird spot and you're just going too fast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But Scooter clip is definitely something I will probably need to grind for a lot longer than I have, because I'm getting nowhere on that skip. But
I was practicing. Yep.
It's not.
Sorry, I didn't want to speak over the OTEP.
Over, yeah.
No, I was practicing. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just talking about OTEP.
Oh, it's never a bad time to talk about OTEP. It's the premier meme in the community.
I'm all about bases. I'll go to base fest.
But yeah, I spent some time today just like, oh, I'm gonna sit down and practice a Scooter clip until I get it. Man, it didn't happen.
Well, one of the things is, obviously I'm playing in Japanese, so I get on something I'm not used to capturing. Well, you don't even capture it, you just ride it. But I did not know motion controls were involved with it until somebody told me. I was like, oh, yeah. I have to turn my controller upside down for this to work.
Yeah. We do see Tech going to Seaside because he is a little shortchanged on coins, not going to have enough to purchase the 100 coin moon in the Snow Kingdom. Pretty standard, typical route deviation. Crono misses the moon, but is able to get up to it without the umbrella. I haven't actually never seen that before.
Yeah, very good recovery. The camera there makes it hard to tell what level you are on.
Yeah, exactly. The I'm gonna look straight down on you, Mario, is like, okay, well, how high am I jumping? But Crono is undeterred and knows exactly his limits here.
Tech opting for the triple jump here. Let's see if he gets it already. That is a very tight, another tight jump.
Just barely didn't bonk there.
He probably wasn't worried at all, but I definitely.
it looked super close.
Yeah, that ledge is always staring you down.
Like the Metro jump off the awning in Dark Metro, that and another jump we'll see soonish in the run. Those three are probably the hardest jumps to nail consistently, because you do need max height on every segment of vertical ascension.
Crono's struggling here a little bit with this room. It's another one of those things where your camera, if you don't get it on the first try, your camera just ends up in a weird spot and you don't really know where you're going in there. So
the long narrow corridor does not help.
Back to what you were saying about that jump. It's always the same fashion there. So we're always doing some form of whatever jump you prefer: triple jump, backflip, ground pound jump. But max height and then a hat dive onto the wall jump, which gives us our max height that we need, but it's a very tight window for all of them.
And Tech gonna possess a cheap here to swim through, collect his last 6 moons in the Seaside Kingdom, because the land-based moons here are just not as fast as swimming around as a cheap, and swimming as Mario it's pretty bad.
You know what I love about these races? Is we get to see OTEP twice in 1 hour.
I love it, man. Yay.
We didn't hear it, but we heard it in our hearts.
Oh, we all know what OTEP sounds like.
And sometimes we get a 4-way race going on this channel. 4 times the OTEP. I don't know. We're so blessed.
Man, I got to race in a 4-way, and I watched the VOD of it, and the quadruple OTEP was, it was just almost perfection. It's almost too much to handle.
Taking a little bit of damage there. The seaweed is not your friend.
Yeah. And taking damage in this game can be a little triggering as a runner, because moons heal you, which is pretty nice, except that there's a little animation that plays that it freezes frame, heals you up, and then moves the health circle back to the top corner, which in total takes about 2.5 seconds. of time that you.
That not only did I take damage and lose time, I have to watch myself be healed.
It's just a slap in the face, man.
I know.
So this is interesting. We see Crono starting his Snow Kingdom after Metro, as Tech is finishing Seaside and then going to Snow. So Crono is going to be starting Snow 30-ish seconds ahead of Tech, but he has a whole Seaside Kingdom that he hasn't done that he needs to get to afterwards.
Tell me, which one do you like more, Seaside or Snow?
Seaside all the way, man. Snow is frustrating.
I like the first 3 moons in Seaside, and then after that, it's kind of lame.
After that, for me, I just can shut off my brain and be like, man,
I'm a fish.
I'm a fish.
And then you bonk, and then you're like,
I don't want to be a fish.
Because fish bonks are like, okay, what?
Yeah, I think there's actually a longer animation for fish bonks than for regular bonks. With the notable exception of if you bonk normally as Mario, just bonk on a building or something, and then you bonked a high distance up on a ledge, and then you fall all the way down to the ground. That animation is the longest and the worst feeling, I think.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the fall that hurts.
It's
looking
just
at your splits after the fall.
It's just your pride.
Sometimes you just gotta get a little red on those splits. It's the season, right? Red and green. So.
Yeah, I mean, when you're getting green after green after green, it just takes that one red to be like, all right, it's an average run. Nothing's at stake here. I'm fine.
It's being festive.
Being festive. It is the holiday season.
So right here we're gonna see Crono just did it, but Tech's going into the very last moon that we bought. So
I love this. You can just walk up forward like 2 steps. Dude's like, yeah, I'll talk to you across the room, man. How's it going?
I never hear what he's saying, but he sold me a moon. So.
Yeah. That was pretty interesting. Crono leaving the shop as Tech entered it. So they're pretty close to each other within the Sand Kingdom. But again, Crono has to do the whole Seaside Kingdom after this, whereas Tech has already finished it.
Crono showing us how unforgiving it can be to roll down those hills there. Yeah,
those hills are a little bumpy along the left and right edges, and so if you veer off even a little bit too much, steering control on rolls is pretty tough, and so you start veering crazily left and right down the corridor and bonking into the banister.
Crono having a little bit of trouble here in the Blowy Joey room.
I like how that's the unofficial name now. It's just, they are Blowy Joeys.
No, I can't. That didn't come from me.
Did it come from Tones Ballones?
No, actually, the very first place I ever heard it was Dram 55.
Oh my god. Of course it was.
Oh
my god. Of course it was Dram. I just.
No, I'm just. Don't want to throw anybody under the bus there.
Oh, I throw people under the bus every time. I think I've called out for various reasons. Spike Vegeta, I ate your pie. I think I called out Grand Pooh Bear. I don't know, man. It's just you gotta throw shade every once in a while.
Running communities, they all love each other. So.
The question in question in chat about the PBs of these runners. So just to reiterate, currently on the leaderboards, Tech is looking at a 1 hour, 10 minute, 30-second time. And Crono is currently not on the leaderboards, but I recall him having, I want to say, 117.
Oh, I know it's faster than that.
No, I think he PB'd in his last race. So let me look this up.
Actually, I think. Let me check.
Okay, so in his last race, he got a 1:20.24, but I recall, I think he was capable of more than that.
It is a 1:16.23.
There it is. I was just pulling numbers out of a hat, hoping to get it right at one point. Yeah, so 1:16 for Crono and 1:10 for Tech.
But this is a race, ladies and gentlemen, so anything can go wrong. So we actually still have two, probably of the scariest kingdoms left. Hardest is probably debatable. Bowser's and Luncheon's, just death everywhere.
So many points of failure from Luncheon on in the run, really, and Tech is about to come on to Luncheon. It's just one of the nastiest kingdoms behind Bowser's kingdom. Those two are pretty gross.
So both of them finishing up Snow there, but like you said, Crono still has one more kingdom before Luncheon. Tech's gonna be going right to Luncheon. So.
And I think, according to my splits anyway, Seaside is probably it's about a 4-minute kingdom-ish, so that's probably the gap we're looking at between these runners right now.
Yeah, so a 4-minute difference. If we were comparing PBs, 4 minutes is a lot closer than probably the racer playing. So.
Yeah, and I believe it's actually the case that Tech is the #1 seed in his group, so this is potentially an expected result. I think Crono is already sitting with a win under his belt, so as long as he can get a good time out of this, maybe PB, I think he'll be not too upset with the result here.
This is definitely not the aim for Crono, regardless of the outcome. Tech. Tech.
Oh my!
He'll be all right.
That platform save. I actually totally forgot that platform was there. I thought he was a goner.
I thought he was dead too. So the room that we see Crono in right here, it kind of plagues early runners, I would say, because the camera angle there is not meant for just Mario. You're supposed to grab this weird squid thing we're going to see Crono shortly and take it in there to grab that moon, but that's slow.
It actually used to be the case on the original Seaside route that we would grab that Gushin and go into that room with it and use it to gain height for that moon on the cliff that we were talking about, like, oh, that jump is really tough. We used to use a Gushin for that before because you were like, jump's too hard, not gonna do it.
We didn't know how to Mario back then.
We didn't know how to Mario, and we were averse to so here's the Gushin that Crono's playing as right now. We were averse to going out in the water, and we were like, there's so many moons here on the cliffside, let's just do that. But it turns out to be a good deal slower.
That's why I love casting with Ocker. He knows the names to all these things. I just know what I mean. If you want real information, don't get it from me. Blowy Joeys, but I think they're called Typhoons or something.
Typhoons, that's what they're called. Sometimes I know things. Sometimes I know some things, but it's all pretty useless information other than, hey, did you know I know the name of that thing? If only that information would help me get a better time, Kappa.
It might.
So Crono be looking to come up on his final 3 moons here in Seaside and close out the kingdom, enter into Luncheon. Tech struggling a little bit with motion controls, but gets it.
Yeah. So Cappy will do a homing attack, mixing up my words there. Down to that box and break it for us, so we don't have to go down to it.
Can be a little finicky sometimes. I know, especially with the Pro Controller, I've had the most difficulty getting the downward curve on the Pro Controller for some reason versus the Joy-Con. So that moon used to give me a lot of trouble. Looks like Tech going for the camera manip strats there, getting this Podoboo to spawn a little bit later so he can grab it on the very first availability. And he's gonna...
He is not a forks man.
He is not a fork man. He's gonna go to the Podoboo room later.
I am a Podoboo man myself. Forks are... I have not ventured into forks yet.
You dirty Podoboo abuser.
Whoa. We don't route shame here.
Nah, it's purely a preference thing. I think it's at most a 1 second difference or so.
You mean I can save time in forks?
If you do the motion controls, I think the room is roughly equivalent, but the movement in between forks, like the deviation from your path to go to forks versus the deviation on your route to go to a lava bubble, I feel is like a second faster or something like that.
Now, the moon we just saw Tech get, you have to break those cheese blocks, right? So, that's another instance where RNG can be... Oh, Crono taking a bonk on this.
Yeah, this is the third and final super tough jump.
Looks like he's struggling there. If any new runners are getting into this or anything, you're going to be doing this jump a lot. So.
Yeah.
And it is very tight. I see people do triple jumps, ground pounds. I recently started doing it with a backflip, which I've seen more consistent with, but
it's super. You have to keep your spacing between, yourself and the wall pretty tight. And there he gets it, because at the top of those pillars is a tiny little bitty ledge that will stop you from getting more height if you do bump into it on your way up. So.
I was worried there for a minute, but I forgot that moon's gonna heal him. I was like, if he only has 1 health left, he cannot damage me. This room, he's gonna get a moon.
I actually was worried. Oh! Alright.
I would never go for that if it was on the left side.
He must have just seen it ahead of time and predicted, like, it'll be there. I want to go for it. Cool. He must have just known he wanted to go for it ahead of time. That was some quick decision making. Yeah, Crono just gonna fast cycle this boss real quick as Tech is coming up on the end of luncheon with meat %.
Getting his revenge there in that refight.
Not gonna see additional phases here. And meat % is complete.
Meat %, best %. Did you see the new extensions on a leaderboard?
I have seen the new extensions.
So, will you be contending for nipple %, sir?
I don't think so.
Like 11 minutes or something? I bet that can be more optimized.
Oh, I'm certain it can be, but I don't know if I want to have my name attached to that.
You want to be a world record holder in Super Mario Odyssey?
In nipple %, yeah.
Hey, those people are out there grinding.
Oh, man. I remember it was so funny. I wonder if he's still the world record holder in that category, actually.
All I know is I checked yesterday, and the top 5 times were all submitted today. So I didn't see the order that they were in, but you could have seen 5 world records set back to back to back for nipple %. I don't know what order they were.
Okay, yeah. So he's currently number 4th, but on the day I checked it was on Saturday, I think, or Saturday, Sunday. Blazing James.
Yeah.
So he's the guy I raced against in my first race in this tournament. And then, I beat him by like a minute or something. It was a really tight race. And then I saw him have the world record in nipple %. I'm like, dude, I could do it, but oh, I don't want to do that. It's silly.
I'm missing the Kobe there. Tech coming up on what I would call the
most resident sleeper fight.
Yeah. I very first time heard Samurai Man call this run an auto scroller. I was like, yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. It's technically not, but it kind of is. I don't know, it's weird, but like
very small optimizations you can do. There is a theoretical fastest time for this.
Yeah. Like the best you can do is abuse iframes to be able to pull out the swords on the very first frame they're available, and you do that 3 times, and that's the optimization. That's it. The rest is just waiting.
Wait.
And since you're using iframes, right? There's all these hearts all around the arena, so you have effectively 7 HP. It's not actually a challenge to complete this fight. It's just, can you abuse early frames or not? It's the so Tech missing a handful of frames there. Oh no.
Yeah, and it puts your happy aim to the test. And now, see, I was talking about this moon a little bit earlier. Crono there. this cheese one. Now, where it throws that pan bro, where it throws the pan is random. So that means you just feel like, what do I even do?
It's actually really unfortunate because both the height of the throw arc and the angle of it, like left or right, both of those things are actually random. So you just have pretty, like, it's virtually no control over where those pans go. So you just have to spray and pray, basically.
You know, the best option I found for it to take the RNG out is just get right up next to the block you want to break, and you will hit it.
That's
Like,
the strat, man. That's what you do.
You show that cheese who's boss. Ain't no cheese gonna stop you. Crono also being a potable man. Looks like he's not going for it, so.
Sad.
Tech finishing up his dragon fight there. Pretty clean. It's very hard to lose a lot of time there just because it is an honest runner.
Yeah. Had some problems getting Cappy onto the globe.
The globe was dodging him, and we're going to see Crono take the damage boost option here.
That's the much safer thing.
Much safer.
You're not gambling on, you know, depending on your camera control, you might not know for sure where in the cycle that platform is. And if you do miss it, you know, you don't have a backup, so going for the damage boost there is pretty darn, you know, big thumbs up from me.
And the icing on the cake there is that to jump to that platform optimally, you have to use motion controls. So if you, every time you see those total boost and spin jump, one of the runners is shaking their controller in order to do it.
And Tech shaking his controller again for the fast roll on the ground. In general, if you see someone physically holding a controller, you know, you get a base cam or something, see a GGQ, someone running this game, they'll just be shaking violently like a maniac the entire time, pretty much. Oh, Tech going for the strats. He's gonna shake his controller to home in on the Pokio he left up top. Oh, he does not get it.
Not a big time loss there, but just like you saw him teleport to the lightning thing in Metro. What's the word for it, Arthur?
The electrical wire?
It doesn't have a name.
It's just the electrical wire, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. No, I mean, I can think of something probably, but it won't be cool.
No, I won't put you on the spot like that.
But yeah, Tech probably didn't lose a lot of time off of the miss on the Pokio, but he did lose swag, and like, I mean, what really counts here, honestly? Hint, it's the swag. The swag counts.
That swag is important.
So here's Crono coming up on the boss fight with the dragon, the Lord of Lightning himself. He's gonna auto scroll for the next 3.5 minutes or whatever. It's kind of unfortunate that is how the fight turned out. You know, it could have been pretty cool, and it's just feels like such a lame low point in the run.
But hey, it's weird. And I'm all about keeping Mario weird. So.
I guess the upside is that it's not a PD Piranha RNG hell fight. That's the upshot, I guess.
I am not a Sunshine runner myself, but I have heard the plagues of that fight.
I've never tried running Sunshine because every time I look at it, I'm like, God, dear God, this looks like a nightmare. But I've seen tons of runs of it, and it wounds me sometimes, the PD Piranha patterns I see. So thankfully none of that here in the dragon fight, but still feels a little lame.
Tech scaring me a little bit there. He actually smart thinking, because he would have bonked there if he didn't wall kick. So.
Yeah, he was too close to the wall. He would have bonked if he dove. So he says, "I'm too close. Let's get closer and wall kick off." Saves the jump there.
He's gonna go Harriet or Topper first.
I think Topper is the choice here. Yeah.
Who wins?
Smart man.
So this fight's a little bit, actually a lot harder than we saw in Cap Kingdom. A lot more hats. More hats is really good.
Tech dropped some frames here, but you'll be able to see here. Look, oh my God, he gets
Excellent.
it. That time, it pretty much looks like those hats are clipping into each other, and so getting the right one consistently is super, super tough. Not trivial at all, but Texture made it look trivial.
Yeah, if you jump too early, the hat will just damage you because you fall through it. It's not active yet. And if you jump too late, you miss the hat, and then you go into this hat chasing phase, which nobody enjoys.
Oh, no. Well, because the first time that, if you miss the cancel the first time, the hat will always be in the bottom right. But the second time, it's just random, so you don't know. You just have to chase it. You either have, a great eye, or you just hunt it down and be like, is it this one? No. Is it this one? No. And you exhaust the possibilities there.
Because where the very first hat starts, it's depending on how that boss laid down when it got hit. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
you have to be very quick to realize where the hat's going to be. It's a very tight window to make that fight go fast. So excellent.
Really solid boss fights out of Tech there, though. So gonna be looking at, just under 1 hour, 1 minute getting the story moving, which is pretty nuts time, actually.
Yeah, he's probably a good minute ahead of my PB here, so let's see who goes out.
Yeah, I mean, his PB is a 1:10:30. I think he's doing at least that well right now on that pace.
He's about 45 ahead of me, so shaping up to be another 110 here, which is no commentator curse, but
man.
Very good race run.
I think even if he does lose some time here and he, only gets a 111, like, I always think that getting within a minute of your PB in a race is always really impressive.
I agree. Nerves, pressure, everything. You can't reset, so you just gotta keep going.
God, I'm such a reset queen. It's
Oh, dude. I will reset over the smallest of things.
Yeah.
But it depends on... Crono looks like he's gonna go for the hat swag here. His hat is in a good spot. Let's see if he gets it. No, it didn't give it to him. Both runners had right there, but not a huge time loss.
Again, just a swag loss, which is always unfortunate. Oh, Tech does not hit the platform he wanted to hit there, so he's just gonna opt for the bird. Say, you know what, whatever. I'm eating the time loss anyway. I think I can respect that, because by the time that you fail birdless the first time, the bird is available to you. There's no reason not to go for birdless when there's no bird, but then there is a bird. It's like, well, okay, I can either try again or just there's a bird here.
Yeah, to get some of your time back, you have to be very careful. If you mess it up again, 2 bombs and a bird.
Ooh, he got thrown at a pretty big distance there, but he's able to close it. Oh, the ears are always really spooky there. You can get really jump blocked by those ears and just fall in front of his face.
Give me the eyebrows.
It is. Nope.
He went for the top one. It's before the green one.
A little unconventional there. Oh.
It should be good here. Oh, scaring me, Tech.
Okay. Yeah.
So, other than birdless at the beginning,
yeah, pretty clean fight. Can be a little spooky sometimes with the ears. I know you can actually hit the ears and like bonk and fall into the brim of the hat and just kind of walk around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
the decision you make right there depends whether or not you stay on. So
yeah.
If you just bonked, it's moving around like crazy. I found the best option is to always just jump once and then move. But
yep.
there's heat of the moment. Who knows what will happen with that mech fight?
Yeah, because getting thrown off while a big time loss is generally recoverable. You can sometimes, get a bird and climb up the legs, and you'll be in decent shape. But meeting cycles in that fight is kind of tough sometimes. You never know when you're gonna just miss one, or super small mistakes. Over the course of like 2 seconds can cost you 20 seconds or something. It's just a horrible fight to try to optimize and be consistent on.
Yeah, a mistake on Mecha Brutal adds up. Right now, me personally, where my PB is, I just gotta get a good mecha fight in that PB. But that's the hardest thing. So. Crono opting for a Harriet first here. Looks like he misses a bomb, but not too much of a time loss. He gets it on the second.
And Tech's gonna be heading to the moon around 105.
Very good pace here from Tech. You know what? I don't know. What is the average moon?
I think it's like what? 6 minutes.
Alright, everyone check their splits.
Well, so I'm looking at I'm doing the extreme case comparisons here. I'm looking at Shaden's split and my split. So my split for Moon is 6 minutes, and Shaden is 5.5 minutes.
5.5.
5.5 minute.
Yeah, only if we could be Shaden.
Only we could be Shaden. Yeah.
So we're looking at a good Moon could definitely give Tech a low. It could give him 110 here. So let's see.
I mean, even if he gets, a mid 111, I think that'll be a solid showing. Not any
notorious moon skip here. Looks like he get a good line
Oh,
there. And he
yeah,
gets the
first try.
Let's go. The spot where you kick off the wall first there is what it's all about.
Pretty precise wall kicks there allow you to get that second one on the second wall, even though it is a 90-degree angle. It's not a parallel wall. I think mostly due to moon gravity, moon physics, but hey, it lets us skip, a 5-minute cave sequence, so I'm all for it.
Crono getting a pretty decent topper there. He missed the second cycle, but he found the hat pretty quick. So. He's going to be finishing up his mini bosses here and doing the last unforgiving gauntlet back to the brutal fight, Mecha Brutal.
Flubs the triple jump the first time, so has to give it another go around, but not the worst thing. And this phase of Bowser right here is the only thing about this fight that's different between it and the Cloud Kingdom, plus a few tail swipes, so it's...
More hats.
Oh yeah, one more hat. More hats.
Looks like Tech doing a pretty risky strat there. Not the damage boost again, but...
Getting in close. Real close and personal with Bowser there. Yeah, I think execution-wise, though, this fight is pretty much identical to the Cloud Kingdom.
I agree. Tiny otter scroller in the middle there.
Yeah.
Little moment to show off some swag. Spin jumps, backflips. Taking damage there, but he misses the phase.
It looked like he might have gotten it there for a second, but not quite. Just wait for another cycle.
Safe this time.
Yeah.
Not a huge time loss. Crono looks like he's gonna get back on the mech. Okay, so he almost got eared there. Gets a good ground pound on the top of the ring. And gets plenty of space. He should be back on top here.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Now for me, this next bunny is the hardest one.
There's a super fast way of doing it, but really go for it. He does, and he gets it. That was very nice. So he just has to get on top one last time and deal the killing blow to Harriet. There it is.
Now, will we see Tech go
Tech
for...
misses the triple jump. Has to go around.
It looks like he tried to save it with the claw swipe there. That does give you a little bit of height.
He was just a little too far from the wall when he to jump. I think we're gonna see a 2D shortcut attempt here.
2D shortcut.
I think it's gonna happen.
I just recently started messing. I am no 2D Mario player, so.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
he
know.
He doesn't want any of that crap.
But looks like he shot it out of the way, saying, "Nope, I'm gonna." This could be PB pace here, so we'll see.
I don't think he can.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so his PB is a 1:10:30, right? The time it takes for when the sour plus starts. By the way, chat, you might want to get your sour plus ready. Until the end of the run, it's about a minute. So yeah, I think he's looking at a low 111 here.
And Crono here, depending on how his moon goes, could be looking at a PB himself. But maybe. Looks like he's behind a little bit.
I think you know, a 117 is definitely still in reach for Crono.
Oh, easily.
And I believe that's what we said was a minute within his PB, so that's not a bad pace to be on.
Looks like Tech.
Yeah, I think we
gonna squeeze out a low 111, which is excellent.
Yeah, no, that's pretty darn good. Really low 111 actually.
Looks like he's actually gonna time my PB hit.
Oh man. Yeah, so there it is.
From Tech.
So Tech finishes out with an official SRL time of 1:11:08. That's pretty darn good.
I'd take it. I'd take that any day.
Oh yeah.
Crono missing the hat.
Oh no.
That's disheartening to see, but
he
will spawn right back at the Odyssey. Honestly, a quick spawn animation there, so not the biggest time. Other than the fact that you're in moon gravity and have to fall all the way down to the kill point.
Yeah.
Not the biggest time was.
I think that's the only thing that makes that fall even a little bad, really. It's just that you fall so slowly because of moon gravity. If it weren't for that, I think that would be... whatever, you know, it's fine, but it just feels really bad to fall slowly down to your death.
Crono rolling pretty close to that ledge there, giving me a slight heart attack, but he gets a roll cancel. So.
A little too close to the wall there for his hat throw. See if he can't get it. Oh, decides better of it. Wants to try a different setup here. Yeah.
Looks like that was a good kick. Ooh, just not close enough to the next wall. And this is the pain that Moonskip can be, everyone. It is not free. So it's definitely one of those things where you're towards the end of a run on a decent pace and you gotta do Moonskip.
Yeah. He is choosing to jump as soon as he hits that first wall, though. I wonder if
Looks like he just needs to hold a little bit more left after, because his first kick does look good to me.
Yeah, his kick looks good. I was trying to figure out like that's a little, yeah, that was too far left.
You're just not quite getting the height or distance he wants there. So we'll see.
I don't think it matters. Oh, there it is. Hey, guys, you got it first try. Nice.
Yeah, baby.
First try Moonskip. What a legend. Wish I could be that good.
Yeah, well, Moonskip definitely troll you some days. I've definitely killed a few runs there, I'm not gonna lie. More than a few, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Just on a PB pace, and then it's like, oh yeah,
Moonskip,
I got this. It's easy.
And then the instant. What?
Oh,
that wasn't it.
That was awkward. So he wanted to roll past the hat and pull it to him later, but the game said, "No, you touched the hitbox of the hat, right? Okay, cool." And it made him pick it up immediately. So Bowser went into his jumping animation. That looked wrong and was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, Bowser throws his hat really early in that phase. Like, as soon as you skip that cutscene, that hat's coming at you. So
Yeah.
you gotta be quick, and you gotta cover a lot of ground to get back. So you can be unforgiving on that first hat.
Yeah, so he's able to hold that one in place.
So some people may not notice, but when you throw Cappy out, you can hold the throw button to get Cappy to stay, but you don't have all the time in the world. So if you capture that hat, you got to make a beeline over to where you need to be before that hat comes back to you. So definitely be a stressful situation on the end of the run here.
Yeah, you sometimes see runners, especially if Bowser's hat lands a little far away from him, throw Cappy at it and then do like, a long jump or some rolls and like, I need to get to Bowser right now. But this one's pretty close, so we can just walk over.
Misfortunate first hat there, but clean the rest of the Bowser here.
And here he goes, off to the escape sequence. I know this is a super minor thing, but I always enjoy when we have the audio of the racer who finishes first up, and then we get to switch over the audio afterwards, so we get to hear the anime music twice. Makes me happy.
If only we could convince him to swap for OTEP.
I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
Let's get a petition.
We need a petition going.
No, those guys work too hard.
No, of course.
Don't need any more. They've been actually, props to all of the admins of this. I feel like there's always a race going on for some game somewhere, so they're busy people.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's so many Odyssey and these races that need to be completed this month. Like it's honestly mind-boggling.
It's excellent. I'm all for more speed gaming. So. Crono opting out of the 2D shortcut there. I do not blame him. He's probably taken too many runs to its death.
I saw one race today where a runner attempted 2D skip and it didn't work out. And I think the only one I can recall before that was Pants when he tried doing the skip and it failed miserably. I think he tried doing it, he fell, and he tried doing it again, he fell again. It was hard to watch, but most runners that go for it are usually able to get it, so I respect the decision not to go for it if he's not confident in it, though. $192 matches to be played. Dear God. So if each runner runs, let's say an hour 15 race, right? Beat the game in an hour 15 minutes, and there's 2 runs every race. That's 2.5 hours every race of game time played, and 192 matches. That's a lot of Mario Odyssey game time being played here in this tournament. That's pretty nuts.
I can get behind that number. It looks like Crono not gonna get within the minute there, but still a good race nonetheless.
Yeah, I think 2 minutes within PB is still, it's nothing to sneeze at.
Yes, a lot. You could lose a lot more time doing a lot smaller mistakes. So definitely a good run from both these guys here.
Oh.
And Tech showing off the free time glitch there.
Yeah.
The game is now soft locked for everybody. Nothing you can do.
So Crono comes in with an official SRL time of 1:18:34.
Tech is not going to get that hat back.
Yeah, this is one of the weird glitches you can pull off in the Mushroom Kingdom that just baffles people when they see it the first time. Because nothing is active. You can't activate any flags, no enemies, no nothing. It's just everything's frozen. But yeah, GG's to all.
Yeah, fun race nonetheless.
I know this was kind of the expected result, and we didn't see a PB, even though sometimes each runner was off and on like, oh, I'm on pace, I'm not. But I still think getting this close to PB is definitely a testament to, hey, I've put in the time, I've practiced, what I can do is on a snap of the fingers is pretty close to what I've proven that my best is. So. See if we can't pull these guys in.
Heyo.
Hey Tech, how's it going?
Oh man, you see that great Lost Kingdom?
You know what? We were giving you some.
Hold on,
Hey,
sorry.
Crono, what's going on? We were giving you some props for some quick thinking on what to do in the butterfly.
Yeah, and I've never missed the butterfly. It's just I don't know, man. I mean, clearly, if something went wrong, I would have easily go to Stone Cage because that's out of route. But then you know what happens? Life happens.
Yeah.
And I figure some people disagree with the option of dying again after getting the moon.
No,
Stone
we
Cage.
We agreed with that.
Yeah,
we agreed.
It's faster than triggering
I was
the
supposed to double cap dive, but I accidentally I wasn't paying attention. I did a single one, and I was going to do my second one, but I was way too already close to it. So Cappy was out there and didn't have enough time to come back to me. So I could have either stayed there and just triggered Klepto, or just died because I was already in a good position of dying. So
no, I think you definitely made the most of that given the options available to you.
Yeah, but other than that, because that was ironic because I did a no reset earlier and I got a gold on that for like a second.
Oh.
So I don't even know, but that went from plus 0.3 to plus 106. And if you can tell, I would have actually gotten a 109 with this run.
Oh man.
Barely.
Races is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Crono, where'd you feel that was rough on you? I felt like Dark Metro was a little rough to you.
I died at Lost, and it brought it
unfortunate.
all the way into Dark Metro, and then I was like, oh, okay, well that sucks. I'm +2 now. And then I got
Screw Dark Metro, man.
then I got a
always
full
hated it.
minute Glod and Bowser. So I brought my summon.
Oh yeah,
down to, like,
nice.
Yeah,
Well,
your
they're
mecha
nice.
fight was excellent.
It was pretty
It was
clean.
Very good.
yeah.
Probably better than
Thank you.
mine. I nearly just ended up screwing myself over at the end.
Your birdless was not kind to you, Tech.
Well, that
Yeah.
All right, I got a
I
few
ended up getting
golds.
hurt.
Each
I
of the
ended up
golds
getting
were like a
hurt.
second.
Yeah.
That always feels pretty nice when you are able to gold a couple splits in a race, even if it's not going the way you would hope.
Oh yeah. Like I golded luncheon and I messed up the first jump for like 5 times and I wasted
wow.
like, at least 50 seconds. So
Yeah,
this is
that's
overall cleaner.
that jump is one of the big three that, man, they're really really tight.
Dark Metro, Seaside, and that one all kind of have
Mhm.
the theory,
Yeah.
same theory, and the same kind of tight window on that jump.
Yeah, I feel like if you have one, you more or less have them all. And it's just a matter of like, how consistent can you be? So actually, Crono, given that, because you clearly proved that you can do it. It's just, some unfortunate luck on some of those jumps, first couple of attempts. Yeah, you probably have a couple more golds come your way. Maybe another PB in your future.
Oh yeah. I brought my Summer Best down to
Some of best is like
113 and
yeah,
my
113.
my
Oh my.
PB
He'll
is
he'll
like
get a 112
116.
before the weekend.
Wow.
Listen.
Okay.
I believe in Crono.
Dang. Yeah. Some of best at 113 is pretty good.
I've been watching the homie. I believe.
Creepy.
Nice.
I'll change one.
But yeah, I mean, aside from the big things you guys stated, most of all the movement we saw and the strats you guys went for was pretty solid stuff. Ended up within a minute or 2 minutes of your PBs there. That was really nice showing.
Thank you.
Yeah. The moon really just got me really bad. I tilted pretty hard off the Earth.
Yeah.
I flew to the moon myself and back a bit before I got moon skip, but yeah.
Because I was telling chat. Because we saw you. It looked like you were struggling a little bit, but then you got it. I was like, chat, he got it first try, man. What a legend,
Yeah.
We were proud of you. We were proud of you nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. Something like that.
It sounds right.
Yeah.
But yeah, GG's guys.
GG.
Make sure everybody swing by these guys' channel and give them a follow. Definitely, it's an awesome race to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Give the racers a follow. If you like the commentary as well, you can give us a follow. But be sure to follow the speed gaming channels if you don't. Again, tons of Odyssey races to come in the remaining month, and then probably some more after GDQ. And I mean, you wouldn't want to miss any Mario Odyssey, right? It's it's your one-stop shop for all your awesome.
Odyssey should have won the game of the year. I'm still going to complain about that.
Ooh. I don't think I want to dive into this just now.
we politics on this.
Cut the stream. We can't talk about this.
I don't want. We shouldn't get into this here. Not now. But yeah, I mean, Mario Odyssey, fantastic game. So I know you guys want to see more, right? So give the speed gaming channels a follow and tune in.
Schedule.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There'll be more and more races popping up. All these runners got to get their races done by the 30th. So.
Yeah,
it's getting closer. So.
The time crunch approaches. All right. Well, I think that's all I got.
Same here. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care.
Thank you. Thanks for the run, GG.